I'll put it towards AI Somnium files then? Okay. Let me reject your points right now, and you can do that. Get rejected. Oh, we might use that as a mark as well. We'll see. As for this backstage crew of Ouroboros, though their identities remain unknown, that we were able to obtain direct testimony from one of the parties involved is invaluable. Yes, the term backstage intrigues me in particular. Yeah, that makes it sound like there's a front stage too, which would be what? Well, there were a whole bunch of people who came to the Republic during all the stuff that happened earlier this year. Since she called it a crew, that means it has to include other members of the society, right? Mystery Gal did mention a prof and somebody she called Simulator. The professor in question must be one of the seven Anguis. If you don't know, then how could you make that determination? He is among the highest ranking members of the society, though second only to their leader, the Grand Master. An Anguis, so he's of equal rank to Harwood, and similarly dangerous, I assume. Which reminds me, isn't Novartis the one who created the Aurora and nuclear weapon used in the previous incident? Apparently, he once picked a fight with Nadia and Swin too, causing all sorts of trouble. I'm also told he had an unwelcome fixation on Ren. Yeah, I never met the guy myself, but anyone can tell he's a sack of a sucker. Don't make him any less of a bona fide brainiac, though. He's also behind the Society's very own Orbal Net tech, right? The Astral Code, yes. It is a system programming language said to be capable of multi-dimensional processing by way of spiritual encryption. And Marduk constructed the Marchant Garden using similar technology. This professor would seem to be a genius plagiarizer, not only copying existing innovations, but improving upon them as well. In that sense, he may be in the midst of analyzing the garden system Marduk developed and upgrading it to his liking. That is to say, reconstructing it into a more malicious and obstructive service. Ain't the type I'm keen to get tangled up with. This may be a higher hurdle than we can clear. We don't even know the whole deal with that mystery gal. Chances are high that they're too much for us to handle alone. I won't mince things. There's no guarantee we can pull off this request. You still want to keep this 4SBG going despite that. This is where she says, "Don't worry. I brought in some backup." Well, Foundation considers this matter of extreme importance, irrespective of Marduk's true intent in delegating it to us. It may be that there is a grave set of circumstances behind the scenes that cannot be gleaned from the surface. We are already in the process of arranging for further backup. I firmly believe that it will be of help to you, so please will you continue to lend us your aid. Remember when they said, "Oh yeah, this first one is the only required one, and then you don't have to go into this anymore if you don't want to." And then immediately the next one is like, you have to go into this. You don't have to bow about it, Altina. The issues plaguing parts of the Republic's orbital network have been our concern from the very start. Not too stoked about how much that chick loves the sound of her own voice, but we can deal with it when we've got a free moment. No need even ask in my case. With the Society's involvement confirmed, I can't afford to dismiss this. Indeed, that professor and I are inextricably tied. As galling as that may be, I will bring the hammer down upon him if the need arises. And there you have it, the 4SPG carries on. Thank you very much. I look forward to our continued partnership.
How may I help you?
Um,
Please select a store. This is what we have for sale.
plug it in, plug it in. Still the one that I want. I do have a fortune, I do have sense, I do have firestorms, I have one breath, I have septium veins, I have decoys, I just do not have revelation. Foiled again. I could do that one. Anya's is kind of getting busted up, but what you gonna do?
Please come back again any. This is what we have for sale.
HP 2? Sure. EP 2? Sure. If the max is still 99, I gotta spend this stuff. Red Pendulum. Alrighty. I need some wind. I need some time. And I need some mirage.
Thank you very much. We have all sorts of goods.
Who else has a mind of their own? Just gonna remove these. We can worry about your stuff another time. I want to know everything that I have access to. Don't really want to spend time worrying about what I don't have access to. Okay, so I need to give you some water. Because you're built for water. Water. Let's remove these mines, because I think I can do...
Thank you very much. We have all sorts of goods.
2 of these. Action 2. Do it. Rank 2, let's do it. Attack 2, let's do it. Defense 2, take it. Does the yellow metal go into anything? Yes, goes into amber hearts. Takes my 2 stuff. I don't know if I really care about that right now. Getting another impede would be nice. Here would be nicer.
Thank you very much. This is what we have for sale.
Okay, so... I need mind here most of all for Arc Feather means I also need wind. So we get rid of cast. Yeah, it doesn't look like we need time here. Put that there. Oh, that leaves me with 2. I'm missing out on 2 suckers. We don't need this much earth, though. So we could just do that. Put that there. And that'll work out. We'll give you a mind 2. Oh, except I got rid of your cast 1. We don't need Aquaverse. I'm keeping breath on Catra because I think Catra is most likely to stay with the party the longest. This is drive and extra line only. So just these. Alright, we'll get rid of that for cast. We could use a little, we could use 4 more time and 2 more earth for a better, for Deadly Lance. Burst gain is definitely interesting to me. I think we'll just put the action 2 on you here. Or actually, put that there. Avenging Arrow. Yeah, I would like that. We need 3 wind on this line. I think we just picked up a strike 2. We'll do that. Get rid of that. Give you impede. But I'm giving you mind 2. You're just a long ways away from everything. Need the hit for cosmic boost, I think. Get rid of that Citron. Thought it was you that had it. Who has this? Oh, it's a shield or extra line only. Gotcha. Well, that doesn't help then. We'll just do that. Give you... I have 1 unused.
Please come back again. This is what we have for sale.
Now we just trade.
Thank you very much. We have all sorts of goods.
Two. I'm guessing Judith has the impede one. Give you that. Make that swap.
Please come back again anytime. Enjoy your adventure. Have you come to unravel the wisdom within? All right, let's begin. This is a magnificent hall.
Hey, I got a revelation. Means I'm going back into the whatchamacallit. Got another decoy. Another breath as well.
How may I help you? Please select a service. Please select a store. We have all sorts of goods.
Okay. Ooh. Revelation. Clotho's just better for the space, but we don't even need that much space. But we do need the earth for Spirit Buster. That's really the only thing we needed for her. What is this diamond ring? Let me... This is drive extra only. We're gonna put you here for now. We have a breath for you. That's great. That'll be helpful. We also got another decoy. We already have decoy, but we need that here, I think. For Judgment Feather. Or here for Guardian. We did pick up another Septium Vein. That gives us the earth we need. A little bit of fire. We need fire for anything? That goes into a Passion Guard, a Impassion Guard. We're never gonna get that on you. fire doesn't really do anything here. But it is nice to have the earth. So we just need 5 more mind. That's quite a bit. Alternatively, I need 6 more mind over here. And I'd lose 2. What do I need this wind for? Oh, yeah. That's got a lot of work to do right now. We got a lot of work to do on these.
Please come back again anytime.
In general.
Take care of yourselves.
Love how DLC from past games are
Welcome
included
back.
here.
You sure made good time. Guessing it's because your thought processes are sped up relative to real time in there.
Sure, something like that.
Doesn't seem like she's got anything to do with the backstage crew. I want to ask her about that mysterious
Such a
streamer
drag.
gal, but I think I'll hold off for now.
Oh yeah. While we're just chilling and have all this time, let's
Good
just
stuff. Chalk one up.
not
Good stuff.
ask questions. Sounds like a great idea. Okay. It's time to figure out what's going on with these. Use via craft enhancement. Not even come across a craft enhancement yet. Crafts. Ah. Okay. Let's see. Crafts that I use the most. The X button. Let's see, this one, I feel like this one's gonna be very important.
There it is.
Okay. And then Azure Sunray. Probably the next most important one. I guess this one's useful. Doesn't really do anything though. Upgrading these is not very
Getting sharper.
exciting, I guess. Also has character stones.
I've done some overclocking.
I probably do Lapis code. That one's very, very useful.
Skill strengthened.
Burgard does not have anything, but this Lion's Roar, I think we'll use blue skill stones on that. Because,
One is never too old to learn.
That is giga strong. You still have a craft you haven't learned. I wonder if there's a universe where I swap in Reset. Because, what is it, Cobalt Curtain? This thing is so strong. EP Split. Okay. Oh, you get another one. Presumably you're gonna get another one. Interesting though. She needs an attack one. For show. Let's save again. I guess I just need to go somewhere. Oh.
Let's do this.
Maybe actually, you know, get some story going.
Welcome to the Treon Mall. Here you'll find Treon Tower, one of Edith's major landmarks. You'll also
It's getting late. We should probably look this over before long. Examining the bulletin board will advance the story.
Okay, gonna be hard to read from the back in this lighting, but we'll just have to make do.
I can handle that part. My night vision's pretty good thanks to the experiments the Gardens did on me.
Oh, that case, have at it.
Hell of a thing to say so nonchalantly.
Nothing here of note that I can see, except this old sticker thing.
Must be the municipal office's tracking ID tag. There's one on every bulletin board. Not seeing any torn paper bits, though. No. That person just now, they were wearing an Aramis uniform. It couldn't be her, could it?
Hey,
No, she was wearing regular clothes last I saw her. But I swear, that was the same hair color as...
hey! Somebody's here, and something feels off about them.
Oh, right.
She's making the shadows thicker.
Alright, no response from Leva or Chardin. This urban legend is absurd. Who would devise a process so remarkably inefficient? Now, and to top it off, he hasn't even responded. Man of yours? Not likely. Wait, I recognize that guy. Really? You do? You're standing behind the bulletin board. How are you seeing him? May as well post one here too. I'll take it down in 2 or 3 days. If I still get no response, I'll have to resort to leaning on my underworld connections. Then I'll sick the authorities on that Spriggan, or whatever he calls himself, and have him rot in a cell. Thanks, but I'll pass. I like my freedom too much. Where did you come from? Could have sworn no one was here a second ago. In case you haven't looked up at the sky in a while, it's a little dark out. Probably just didn't see us. Now about that 4 SPG you got there, how about you give me the lowdown? Does that mean you're him? Van Arkride, Spriggan, at your service. I know where that urban legend thing is coming from, but yeah. Curious to hear what Henri Valentino, Deputy Secretary for the Department of Commerce, needs my help with. Don't go spewing my identity out loud, you fool! You fool! I think that was Agnes that walked into Treon Tower. But she also like disappeared. Just like completely vanished. So, you know, I don't know. I think the rumors of a Spriggan in the capital were true after all. So then, what's your story, little girl? I'm one of my temp part-timers. Don't mind her. She knows how to keep a secret. But if the details of my request were to be leaked to the public, I'd be ruined. Chill out, my man. She may not look it, but she's a consummate pro in this line of work. In fact, I think she could be a real asset to you. Or what, you got something against kids, Mr. Deputy Secretary? Oh yeah, got everything against kids. Get her out of the car. I want to talk to you alone. Nothing of the sort. I suppose having someone from the younger crowd could be useful considering who it is you'll be dealing with. I only ask that you understand my prudence in this matter. I cannot afford to let this get out. What's this stuffy old man's deal? Is he some kind of high-level official or something? He's at the tippy top of the Department of Commerce, so as a reputation, also has a reputation for being a sly opportunist. Heard through the grapevine, a fair amount of his sky-high income is bribe money. The CID must be looking the other way if true. I trust what is said in this car stays in this car. While Mira's no object, know that if word of this gets out, I'll have the authorities on you in a heartbeat. Are we quite clear? Bruh, you can't do nothing. Crystal, I won't tell a soul, Mr. Promise. Permission to trap this prick in my shadow for a few days, then toss him out buck naked. Denied. And you just do it anyway, you don't need his permission. Gotcha, so you're concerned about your son's strange behavior. Just to confirm, his full name's Jeffrey Valentino, right? As in the leader of the notorious Desire Gang. I don't remember seeing that guy ever. Correct, he's supposedly popular amongst the rowdier lots. Not that I particularly care about that, mind. He got himself arrested by the guild in February and was even imprisoned for a little while. Considering my position, I was left with little choice but to post his hefty bail. The tidy sum I paid to keep the tabloids and papers at bay set me back quite a bit as well. Oh, and don't get any funny ideas about using this as leverage against me. One called my connections at the CID in your history. Chill, we ain't in the business of blackmail. Bet he's bluffing about the CID connections part. Back on topic, you mentioned that after you bailed your son out, he was in a state of near insanity. Kept spouting what sounded like nonsense as if he was afraid of something and would barely eat. I'd about sum it up.
You didn't see what that monster did to our guys. I never want to lay eyes on that thing again.
I don't know why why do they constantly do this where they'll skip the explanation from the character and then they'll instead write it where they already told the like they already had the conversation and they're just like recapping it. It's so weird. They do this a lot. I think I remember this guy now, but wasn't this a long time ago?
If we went up against it, we'd be slaughtered for sure.
More or less. I have no clue what happened to him, but after the fact, he shut himself away at home. If only he stayed that way until everything blew over. But he's been sneaking out every night for the past month or so, right? Much to my chagrin, yes. Even after I started locking him in his room. Every blasted time he manages to escape and subsequently disappear without a trace. Sounds like the kid's basically still in prison. Okay, I think I've got the gist of the situation. Just one more question. There any particular way you'd like this 4-SPG to be handled or settled? We'll keep everything in confidence, but bear in mind I'm going to be handling this my way, at least to some extent. See, this might be one of the first 4-SPGs that sounds like a Spriggan 4-SPG. Sort of. We don't exactly know what he wants here. I'm assuming it's not to kill a person. By the way, the only 4 SPG we got to kill someone. We don't even kill nobody. Come on, man. Always so peaceful around here at night. Still didn't expect to wind up in Levra twice in one day. So what now? For all that garbage, are we really going to do that old snob's request? On that, I will only ask one thing. Stop my son from causing me any more trouble than he already has. That, and you may use whatever means you see fit, whether that be intimidation or even breaking a bone or two. I don't care. Draw the line of letting him die, however. If a funeral were to be held, the media would descend upon me like the vultures they are. He did all that mouthing off about his son, then he drove off to go live it up in the Chardin district. Is that really what normal families are like? I wouldn't say so. That said, families come in all shapes and sizes. They're all a little different. And this one's got a problem child who's always out of the house by about 10:30. As it so happens, my mansion is in the most affluent neighborhood in all of Levra. Just between us, it's uphill from President Gramhart's residence. Our backyard was recently outfitted with a pool. The number of maids on staff has increased tenfold, and let's go see this earth-shattering, ordained by the goddess mansion of his for ourselves. Depending on how things go, I might need those shadow powers of yours, okay? Always I need this and I need that with you. Whatever, fine. Family, huh? Ain't no sunshine on my face.
Whoops. Damn, the view from here's even better at night.
Yeah, it's nice.
I take great
I guess.
pride in my
I
culinary
wonder if
creations.
he's seeing this from
Do
wherever
come
he
and
is
partake.
too.
Are you eating a taco? You guys are eating tacos. Alright, looks like he got a hard shell with some ground beef, some sour cream, some lettuce, tomato, and cheese. Okay. I guess that's gonna work. Looks more like a Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. Residential area is supposed to be full of upper class folk, and I just know my gourmet tacos will be a hit with them. My addictive junk food menus all set and ready to go. And I've got some palate cleansing sides and alcohol to go with it naturally. They all better brace themselves because after today, they're gonna be fiending for my delicious foods. You know who's also gonna be having delicious foods today? Me. Because today is Fajita Friday. And I'm gonna give me some tacos.
Welcome!
Taco. Ugh, Albert. The sucker. Do these two, like, ever do anything not together? Gotta make sure the penguin is not here. Oh. Gatos are on the prowl. Giordano. This head of sales here is a regular of mine, always guiding her home when the night's darker than the frame of my shades. Night's an exception, though, see? She's early, and her son's in a tizzy because of it, ironically. But maybe that's just his love blaring out. And it's ready to write a page that'll spice up the book that is her life, baby. Giordano. Y'all just got
Shoot.
the
No
gate
way.
open. In the middle of the night. Well, this is the address. Still not 10:30 yet. Should we go ahead and begin our stakeout? It's a little early, but we can go ahead and... Oh, wait. Crap. You good? No, I'm not good. I forgot my onpan rolls and milk. Can't do a stakeout without onpan rolls and milk. Guess I'll call Hermes. Wait, darn it. She's not delivering. Oh, goddess. Why have you forsaken me? Here, if you promise to shut up, I'll give you this jawbreaker. Oh, baby, don't mind if I... Don't. That's the stuff the Oathbreaker uses. $10:27 on July 9th. Want to talk about it? The window keep anyone from hearing. Long as we keep it down, it should be fine for us to chat. Stakeouts are normally a slog when you're alone, but as luck would have it, I've got a partner tonight.
Ix has gone missing.
Thought so. Hasn't been that long since the Oathbreaker made the two of you enforcers. Did something happen after that?
No, not really. There's a certain perk we enforcers get. The society basically gives us complete and total freedom to do whatever. Sounds like a terrible idea, doesn't it? At first, we were both over the moon. Unlimited Mira, no orders we had to follow. We could even pass on the Anguis's requests if we didn't feel like doing them. Some of our missions were pretty fun. Exciting, even. Felt like a good way to make use of our powers, too. And more than anything, we no longer had to kill when it wasn't necessary. In the gardens, collateral damage was pretty much a given for improving our request completion rates. That's not how it works in the society, though. To kill or not to kill. To drag others into our fights or leave them be. Those calls are left to us. Oh, and it's not like I have any problem with killing. Before, though, it wasn't even a choice. And now it suddenly is. And I guess I feel like it's the kind of thing I need to think through. Weigh the pros and cons, you know? But Ix doesn't see it that way.
You two ain't gonna see eye to eye on everything. Doesn't matter if you're twins or not. Even for slightly atypical families like yours, that's only natural.
Slightly, huh?
I told you, didn't I? Every family's just a little bit different. It's funny, I don't even know what my own parents look like, so I guess I'm one to talk on this. But here's how I look at it. In that environment, you learn to reconcile with each other's differences, even accept them, and be there for one another when you or they need it. If you think you can't reconcile or accept them, just remember there's a small part of them in you too. I think maybe that's what it means to be a family.
Do you think that's true of this guy and his son too?
If I didn't, I wouldn't have taken the job. Speaking of whom, this kid had a rep for being too smart for his own good back when he was the leader of Desire. Though now I'm starting to think he inherited his old man's slow wit. Ah!
Out the front door?
Okay, let's follow him.
Understood.
Oh no. Oh no, they have this back. Oh no. This was probably the worst thing that the Trails games have ever implemented in their entire lives. I can't think of anything that was more terrible than their follow mechanic from Daybreak 2, and they decided to keep it here. Oh, alrighty. Follow target but maintain adequate distance. If the target is too close, gain will rise. Conceal yourself. the gauge is full, the target will be notified of your presence. If the gauge is full, you've lost track of your target. Target enters your line of sight, lost gauge will decrease. Keep an eye on both gauges.
Now, where are you off to?
Maybe we shouldn't use my shadow powers here.
Why not?
Good call. Bust those out and you might get suspicious. Let's stick with the tried and true.
You don't know why, but you hate these games. Never played them, but just watching them, you're so annoyed by them. It's like everything you hate in modern anime. I would say that these games are very anime, but I think you can give them a little bit more credit than that.
Shit, that was close.
Seems like he's paranoid about people following him.
Which is a telltale sign that he's got something to hide.
But I get you.
Let's do a search.
Guy's literally in my field of view. Oh, but he's at risk of being lost.
Search time.
Music for this is also a little silly. I like the music, but you know, a little silly.
Search time.
I could have sworn. No. I must be imagining things. I have to be on time for the rising of the dawn.
He's mumbling something to himself.
I've got a bad feeling about all this. Well, come what may, we gotta press on. Alrighty. Think the end's in sight. Still, stay sharp.
You can't see me. Got one of the older ones on Steam with sprites. You think you might like that one, so you'll play it someday? These 3D ones are really off. I guess it kind of depends on what you like about them, but they're all pretty much the same. The 3D ones are rough around the edges when
Search time.
when you think about like animation and whatnot, but if you're just a Kylo 11, you are the Xenogears guy. You love crazy intricate plots with crazy things happening. This series is very much that. It wastes a lot of your time, but you know, I could see you liking these games, assuming you can get past the dialogue. The dialogue is definitely the biggest hurdle for this. I think the gameplay is very much something that is easy to attach to and get and even find fun. But if you don't like the way that characters talk, if you don't like the way characters interact, and you don't like the way that every conversation is kind of bloated in some respects, or obfuscated, then you're gonna have a hard time, because there's a lot of dialogue in these games, but there's also a lot of fan service. And when I say fan service, I mean like callbacks and references to other games. So if you start with Trails in the Sky and you move on to Trails in the Sky SC, second chapter, you know, it's going to be referencing things that happened in the first game. And if you go into Trails of Cold Steel, you know, those 4 games, they're going to be referencing things from the Crossbell games and the Trails in the Sky games, and you know, characters are returning and shown, and like those type of moments I think are what elevate this series the most, and why a lot of people like it, because it's what, like 9 games or something like that, and even though they all have their own separate arcs, they're all connected via the characters and locations and references and callbacks and things like that. And that's one of the more powerful things about this series. Best compared to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Maybe. Trails in the Sky is the one you got on Steam. So that one's effectively the first one. That one's also, you know, like the best way I could put it is that one is the slowest and the worst, per se, in the sense of like Trails in the Sky is a solid game, you know, very much a decent game from what I can remember about it, but that game will also test you to figure out if you're going to like what the Trails games offer, because the games after that really amplify that, like that, I don't want to say formula, but what that game is doing and how it's approaching things and how it wants you to interact with characters and side quests and main story quests and objectives and things like that. So I feel like the unfortunate thing is Trails in the Sky is the game where, you know, if you start there, then you could find yourself really getting engrossed with the characters and the story and the narrative and the character growth and things like that, and just say like, okay, I love this, I have to keep playing. Or you could be in the spot of, I am not really feeling how slow this is moving, characters are talking a lot, you know, I just want something to happen. I can see both sides, you know. You're just gonna have to give it a shot and see what happens, but one way or another, you will find yourself on one of those extreme ends. Did we lose him? No, he went in there. Also, the original Trails in the Sky game has like no voice acting in it, so it's reading the whole thing, which might be a benefit for you, because I think I could have this wrong, but I thought I remember hearing you say that you don't like, yeah, you hate most voice acting, so yeah. A door to a maintenance area. More specifically, a junction point under shared management between the subway company and the Metropolitan Expressway Authority. The lay of the land forced the MEA to run the expressway through a tunnel so they ended up sharing space with the subway system. It's a well-known passageway, lets people have the experience of going deep underground while passing through, whether by car or train. Well, anyway, I doubt this place is open to the public. Yet, there are those footprints leading right inside. Yup. Things are probably going to get hairy from here on. You ready to head in, or do you need a minute? Danger is where I thrive. Let's not waste any more time and get this over with. Alright, I gotta save and mark. Series is basically Xenogears. I wouldn't say that. It's the presentation, character design, settings. You hate school settings. Like you think Cold Steel War. The voice acting sounds terrible and the lines are cheesy. Her hair, his outfit, the running animation. Or was war. You think the Cold Steel... Oh, you hate school settings like you think Cold Steel was. There we go. Yeah. Cold Steel games have school settings in them. If you played Persona 5 and you liked Persona 5, I think you can find something to enjoy in the Cold Steel games. But if you don't like Persona 5, then you will probably have a hard time with it. And I will just straight up say, if you can't play or you're not willing to play any of the Cold Steel games, I think it's probably not worth playing, or like it reduces the efficacy of playing the entire series. Like if you play Trails in the Sky 1 and really enjoy that, and you just want to skip over all 4 Cold Steel games, I don't know how that's going to work. Some things in Cold Steel, you know, some things happen there. You could probably get away with it though. But yeah, like Lord Frost Jr. says, Cold Steel's probably the most important arc in the series. So, but you know, I get it. Personally, like, I can definitely say that the games do a really good job of they'll explain something that happened in a prior game, but they won't like explicitly spoil it for the most part. This game and Trails into Reverie are a little bit different, where they do just kind of explicitly spoil things, but like if you play the Crossbell games, Trails to Azure and Trails from Zero, but reverse that. Trails from Zero and then Trails to Azure. Like they'll talk about things in the other game, but they won't generally spoil things from those other games. So like they'll give you like the big picture, but the details are the things that they'll skip over. Um, 13 games up to currently. Oof. And that is true. They did come out with a remake of Trails in the Sky, but I highly doubt you're willing to buy the remake just to see if you like it when you already have the first game. So yeah. Star Ocean 2 remake voice acting was horrid. You don't play Persona because of the school settings? Yeah. You'll likely play Sky and quit the series. Might like Sky, but you're pretty sure you won't like anything after it moves away from sprites. There's a likelihood of that. If you do like the first Trails in the Sky game, then I think you'll definitely like Trails in the Sky SC, and you might also enjoy Trails in the Sky the Third. Trails in the Sky the Third is not like a direct sequel, but you know it works. And then after that, you can play, if you still like it, you can go into Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure, and that's where the sprites end. And from that point on, you get into 3D games and voice acting and some of the worst animations you will see. It's not like that bad, but when you compare Trails in the Cold Steel 1 with like some of the other games that released it that same year and just compare the animations, it's hilarious. Cold Steel, the one with mechs? Yeah, I'll go ahead and say that, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna mark again, and then we can